Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and greetings. So today we are going to present our slide presentation entitled Conditional that consists of first conditional, second conditional and third conditional. So before we continue our presentation, allow us to introduce ourselves.
My name is Nur Alisa binti Muhammad Ali.
My name is Sothinathan, son of Kaliapan.
My name is Aidil Ajwad bin Kamaluddin.
And my name is Nur Hannah binti Rizwan. Okay, so let's move to our first slide. Okay, I will talk about the definition of the conditional. Conditional is a condition, is something that can only happen if something else occurs. A conditional sentence contains an independent clause and a dependent clause that almost always begin with if, the if. So a conditional sentence is only a conditional sentence that followed the rules in first conditional, second conditional, and third conditional. So in these three conditionals, will be presented by our others family members. So let's move on to our first conditional. So in the first conditional, I will pass to Alisa.
So thank you, Hannah. So this first conditional, the structure, another slide. Okay, so the structure for the first conditional, for the first clause will be if or unless with the simple present, and then for the second clause, you are added with the simple future and with will and or can root as a root verb. So the usage of this first conditional structure is to talk about the possibility in present and in the future. So so in this first conditional, there will be three examples. Number one will be if it rains today, I will stay at home for a whole day. And for the second example, if Sarah sleeps early, she will not be late for lecturer class tomorrow. So for the third one is I can talk to her tonight unless she do not want to. So this structure is doesn't fix. It can be a vice versa. Okay, so in the second conditional, I will give to Aidil Ajwad to explain.
Thank you, Nur Alisa. Okay, so what is the second conditional? Okay, we use the second conditional for an unlikely or impossible outcome. So this means the outcome probably will not happen because the condition can't or probably won't happen. So an example of an unlikely situation is if I won the lottery, I would buy a tropical island. So here, winning the lottery is a very unlikely condition. So the outcome of buying a tropical island would probably never happen. So next example of an impossible situation is if I had wings, I could fly up to the stars. Since people don't have wings, so this condition is impossible. So the outcome of flying to the stars would not happen. Okay, lastly, the most common second conditional pattern is if plus past, would plus verb. So don't be confused by the past verb in the if clause. We use the second conditional for a present or future situation. So note that we use a comma after the if clause. For example, if I were the leader of this country, I might make many changes. Okay, next slide. Okay, for the third conditional, I will pass to Sothinathan.
Thank you, Aidil. For this third conditional, as we can see, okay, the structure will goes like with the presence of if and past perfect, okay, with the continuation of would or wouldn't have, with the presence of past participle. Okay, the third conditional is used to evaluate the past consequence of an unrealistic action or situation that occurred in the past. That means the object or subject is can be predicted in the future and be evaluated using the past consequences. For an example, the first example says like, if I had studied well, I would have become a class topper. So that means if the person had studied well in his previous period, obtained, he can predict in the future that he would have become a class topper. And the same goes for the second example, which comes like if I had published my novel, I would have become famous. And same goes for the third example. If she had gone for the healthcare seminar, which means if she had previously gone for the healthcare seminar, she most likely would have learned more information about healthcare in the when she informed about it in the future. So that means she can predict about the future by narrating about the past consequences. And moving on to the next slide. As we can see, we have come to an end. And thanks for listening, especially to Sir Anafi. And we'll see you again in other lectures. And thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.